Hey YouTube, it's Weird Paw. Today we're taking a look at another one of my homemade cassette albums that I made when I was a teenager. I'm celebrating the 30th anniversary of the original version of my album In Case of Fire, Throw This In, which I finished on May 19th, 1986. In Case of Fire, Throw This In was my third full-length album, and it came hot on the heels of Beaten with the Ugly Stick, which I'd finished just 3 months earlier in February of 1986. I was 15 years old. Some of you may know that my first real release in 1987 also had that same title. I had seen the words, "In Case of Fire, Throw This In," written on the front of an old Hagar the Horrible paperback I got used when I was a kid. I thought it made a fantastic album title. I loved the title so much that I reused it, but the tapes are very different. On May 3rd, 1986, I went down to the mall and bought 2 blank audio cassettes for $4. And over the next few days, I recorded a lot of what became this album. It starts off with a parody of the Ted Nugent song Stranglehold called Flyswatter.
Got my hands on a fly swat, baby!
It's about a guy wrecking his house while trying to kill a pesky fly, and when I play it live, I'd use a fly swatter instead of a guitar pick. The next song is an instrumental cover of the old protest song Roll the Union On, which I had heard in a film in 10th grade history class. I'd gotten a book out of the library and learned how to play it. This song also later appeared on my 1987 album, and I made a video for it showing footage of our local schoolteachers on strike. The third song is the Hacky Sack Rap, which was the first rap song I ever recorded. I first started writing it in 1984, when my sister and I were kicking a ball around in the backyard. We didn't have a hacky sack. This is different than the version that I actually released in 1988. The guitar part is different, and the drums on this version were played entirely on my mom's pots and pans. Up next, it's another parody. Pick Your Nose is a parody of the heavy metal band Talus's song, Sink Your Teeth Into That.
Pick your nose, oh yeah!
I'd say that it's the best parody on the album, and also the grossest. The fifth song is called You Better Be or You're Gonna Be.
You better be, or you're gonna be!
This is another song that I recorded a different version of, 3 years later on my album Does Anyone Want This? Up next, another parody. I changed the Kiss song, Lick It Up, to Pick It Up, a song about house cleaning.
Pick it up!
The next 2 songs are covers. First up, an unintentionally hilarious version of Led Zeppelin's Dazed and Confused. Very badly played. And then, a cover of the George Carlin a cappella classic, Don't Want No War.
Don't want no war! Don't want no job, neither!
At 15 seconds, it's the shortest song on the tape. Then we have a song that I did include on my first real release. The song Yo Ball Hit the Ceiling was written one night in my room when my sister, my brother, and I were pretending we were at a Loverboy concert while listening to their songs. I had made Loverboy guitar picks and was throwing them out to my siblings. My sister got upset when my brother started catching them all, and she angrily started hitting things with her yo ball. Well, we're halfway through the album. Doug Llewellyn is a very short song, dissing the host of TV's The People's Court. And the 11th song, Chunk, is a blast of noise that was inspired by a drawing that my sister had done on the giant 7 by 5 foot poster we'd made. It's also the song that caused my classmate Jeff Yeckel to fall off his chair when he first heard it. That song, and the Yoko Ono Band, were both eventually released on my 1987 album. The Yoko Ono Band was written in 1982 in music class. Our assignment was to write down a genre of music for every letter of the alphabet. I was stumped on why, and my dad told me to write down the Yoko Ono Band. The next song, Eat All Your Food, was a song that I used to sing to my little brother, using a Commodore 64 music demo disc that we'd gotten. Then we have the prog rocky instrumental Unreasonably Reasonable. Unreasonably Reasonable is notable for probably being the first song I ever wrote with a real chord in it, B. I also released it for real the following year. Next comes another parody, the sort of funny Guitar Without an Amp, based on Billy Idol's Eyes Without a Face.
Guitar without an M.
When I was writing this song in high school biology class, a kid grabbed the paper and actually set it on fire with his lighter. Just a few songs left. You're Wrong was a song that I'd stolen the chorus for from a Bad Bart segment on Sesame Street.
Cause you only got 5, good man.
I later re-recorded it using real chords and released it on 1988's I Need a Pencil Sharpener. I decided that my album needed a title track, so I wrote a song called In Case of Fire. I decided to sing it like Billy Milano of S.O.D. I made one of the worst looking music videos ever for it that summer. And it too ended up on the 1987 reboot. The last of the 5 parodies on this album is a parody of the Rush song Working Man. My pseudo-humorous take on it was called Garbage Man and told of the plight of being a sanitation worker. The 19th and last track of the album is the 4-part medley of Close My Door, I Stole This From Iron Maiden, The Beer Song, and Ultimato.
Close my door!
The I Stole This From Iron Maiden part of the song was just me trying to play the melody of the bass solo of Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and singing how I'd stolen the piece of music from them. When I released my first album in 1987, I only included 2 of the parts, Close My Door and The Beer Song. It took me exactly 10 days to record In Case of Fire Throw This In, and it was all recorded on a normal tape deck, sometimes utilizing the 2-track recording trick I showed you back a few months ago. I got my mom to photograph me for the cover. I'm wearing a fire hat and holding a water bucket in fingerless gloves, wearing my Iron Maiden shirt, of course. Apparently my health class teacher in high school had let me play the tape in class, but I don't remember it. I also lent the tape out to a number of my classmates. The last one to borrow it was Bill Shaw. The school year ended, and he still hadn't returned it, so his mother had to drop him off at my house to give it back. I met him at the door, dressed exactly like I was on the cover, fire hat and all. When I recorded the other version of In Case of Fire in 1987, I added the legal one to the title, so there'd be no mistaking the difference. I hope that you enjoyed the look back at my 1986 homemade album, In Case of Fire, Throw This In. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button down below. I'll see you soon, with more memories. Thanks, YouTube.